tonight in November. Snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. Here's the punter, Jake Bailey, ready to do the honors. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Vikings, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers. 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun, Drew. He sets to fire deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Watson. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. That'll give him 8 that time. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 right around the 9-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Throw left side complete. That's man. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll leave it with a 3rd and just a yard.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. Drew. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away. Incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. A first update now out of Jacksonville. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
On first down, Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here we go now on first and goal. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Deshaun Watson, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play
Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Drew into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take the...
And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And Chubb will try the middle here. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And again, it's Chubb. And he's got some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
All right, I've got to be careful here. All right, he's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his feet as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, y'all know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for first. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here we go, set.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
They'll run with Chubb. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
They'll try again with Chubb. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Rolling to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Calling a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Panthers are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line.
He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front, and to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down. Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Ready.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Drew. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Blake Gilligan on the punt here as he'll send this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable here from the 38. Stiff-armed him. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Watson on 1st down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Brandon Smith picks it off. And the Panthers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Drew. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching the bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. We'll see a return here from the end zone. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense. Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked up by Lewis Seen, and the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him, let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Here's Watson.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
That's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Carlos Basham able to make the play defensively.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Andrew Booth picks it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Operating from the gun, Drew. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. It'll be a gain of 5, and now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Caught that one from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Drew. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Throwing on 1st down. Drew, he finds his man, complete. It's man. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Well, another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
On third down, Drew. And now here's another interception. And the Vikings are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
To throw on second is Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Finding space at the 40. Still going. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump, and he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone. And
you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. He finds his man, complete. That's man. 11 yards and a Panther first down. Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Drew. He finds his man, complete. It's Banks. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On 1st and 10, Drew, and he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. Touchdown! DJ Moore, 34 yards. And the Panthers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 28-10. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Watson. And my goodness, another interception. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. 77 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the 4th quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Touchdown, Panthers. Tommy Trimble, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw in this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. Give him an even gain of 10, but now it's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line.
their own 14-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Drew. They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First target, first catch, and a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores. And they've really got to get some yards in chunks. And they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Back to throw again. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Panthers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and 3rd and 1 now.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. On first down, it's Watson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Now Watson. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Drew. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. He'll look to throw. And that's intercepted yet again. And that could be the backbreaker. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Watson. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime is